Peace comes from the still quiet of soft rain in the morning. It's easy to watch the clouds when you have nothing else to do. No time constraints or deadline to mark your days, only the eating pattern of ducks and the rhythm of kangaroos to make the sun pass over towards the horizon. Sunrise to sunset, before you have ever been born, the water has flowed, the bugs have pestered, the tree has fallen in the woods, and no one was there to hear it. I find myself interested in those dark moments of morning, the spaces at the base of trees, the puddles made by rain, all the eternal things that wait for nobody but happen nonetheless. It's the very nature in this present moment happening around the world 24/7. The birds don't clock in for work, the wombats just do wombat things. We walk almost as aliens to this land, with our plastic cups and portable fan, diesel-powered home and butane-fueled food. The comforts are not to be condemned as much as some may claim, but it's enough to be aware of your place in the enormity of quiet that lays in wait for nothing.
We're driving through Kangaroo Valley.
The rainforest. With
so pretty.
Rain. Actual rain.
Our first campsite was Bendeela Recreation Area in Kangaroo Valley. It's 2 hours south of Sydney, or almost 3 hours if you're frugal like us and avoid tolls. The roads were steep and windy, so it was interesting to see how our big caboose of a van held up. We learned there isn't anything she can't do. Knock on wood. We had toilets and drinking water, so we were happy. We stayed here for 3 nights for a whopping $6. That's Australian dollars, so about $4 US. Here's us setting up the canopy. It took us 6 whole minutes. Yes, we timed it. We will perfect camping and get better with time.
You like this?
No, not in a word. Stop.
What? You look good.
Our first time seeing a wombat. Rhys saw it from afar, and so we ran over. It was way bigger than I was expecting. He had no care in the world for us and just kept munching on some grass. Poor little guy got ambushed by a million kids.
That's terrifying.
There is nothing more wet than a waterfall in the rainforest. I know you may be thinking, well, isn't the ocean wet? And I'll ask you this. Can water be wet, or is it what makes things wet? If so, then the rainforest has many things to get wet. The feeling of damp under your feet, the life crawling on the ground, the water falling on rock, shaping the very earth itself, majestic in its height and depth. Trees piled on top of each other in various stages of life, everything fighting for light in this world consumed by water. For us, this place sparks that grandiose feeling of the world, that blaring sound of thousands of gallons of water falling from the sky at terminal velocity. Kangaroos are hilarious. If they were deadly, they would be terrifying, which, don't get me wrong, they are still wild animals, so leave them be. But when you see this movement in the corner of your eye, it's hard not to panic. But then you just see these cute little critters hopping along.
Kangaroo Valley. The name speaks for itself. You are in a valley, and there are kangaroos everywhere. Right as we entered the campsite is when I saw kangaroos for the first time. There were so many, and they are so funny to watch. You stare at them, and they stare back. They are feisty little ones and throw hands quite often. Is it bad that I want to be punched by one?
Even when they fight, they look like they're hugging. I wouldn't get in the middle of a kangaroo in his spot if he wants to stand his ground, but I want to make one my friend really badly.
So what would a kangaroo call itself?
Jumping.
Well, it would have to understand the concept of jumping.
Of English?
It would have to know itself. I mean, it would have to have self-actualization. Like, who am I? You know?
Do you think they're there yet?
I don't know if they have conscious thought like that. Could they look in a mirror and be like, that's me, you know? I don't think they'd know that. Good morning, Vietnam. We're leaving. I need a shower. I need to brush my teeth. First campsite done with. Now off to Jarvis Bay. Goodbye.
Bye.